Got
Facebook closed on my computer. I have it on my phone, but the sound is off.
Awesome. Well, I think we are live, Jennifer Lee. Welcome. You are such an active member of the group. I have a feeling folks here will recognize you and be super excited to
Hello.
see you. And so you are in beautiful Vancouver today, is that
Yes,
right?
it's very gray.
Oh, that's a good view though. That's a good view. So I'm just
It's all right.
making
You need
sure.
rain to live in a rainforest, so I'm fine with it.
Yes, if you guys are jumping on, say hello. I'm just confirming we're live, and I'm having a little freezing problem. Not my temperature, but my stream here. So Jennifer, can you just introduce yourself here? Let us know why we
Sure.
should be listening to you about our tech questions.
Yes. So I'm Jennifer Lee. I love computers. I love technology. When I was a little baby, I used to try and get behind the big TV entertainment stand, like the big oak one we all had when we were kids, and I wanted to be back there so bad to take a look at everything. My dad was fishing me out from there. And I've always really loved technology and computers, and I'm so thankful that I have so much experience now to bring everybody. I've worked for 10 years in corpo, so
Mm,
supporting really fast, busy lawyers, staff who have quick turnarounds, high demands, and I thrive in that. I love the fast, busy life, and I'm so excited to be bringing my services to entrepreneurs who really need that level of support to succeed in their businesses.
yes, I love it. Hello, Lauren. I think I might, like I said, be frozen, but hopefully folks can hear me. So I love what you're saying, now shifting your focus to entrepreneurs. I can, and you know this, personally relate to this when you move from corporate or being supported. I had
Yes,
so many IT issues even when I was working, but it was always like, oh, just submit a help desk, or
that's
oh,
right.
there's people that are working. And then when it was all me, I was like, okay, I can do this for free. I'm going to figure out how to work my computer and my email. So what are the things that you see entrepreneurs messing up or not really understanding when they go into their own online business?
It's so funny that you say that about like, I can do this. It's free. Here's the free trial, right? Like during the Super Bowl, there was an ad for GoToMeeting, and it's like a bunch of like middle-aged guys like starting a meeting. Like, yes, click GoToMeeting. Let's meet. Let's share our documents. I've never seen that happen in my life. Every single time anyone has ever wanted to go to a meeting, it's like, we need three people here to help, and this webcam doesn't work, and they don't see our
Mm,
document. And I know the product is good. It's a very good product. I love it. But it's like when it comes together with everyone having a different computer and whatever, it's their job to tell us it's easy. They want us to buy it, right? Like they're selling us a service and they got to make it look good, right? So I know that it like when you look at all the products out there, you're like, this is exactly what I need. Well, you are being sold something, right? So then when you
mm.
get it, you kind of almost have this like emperor's new clothes thing where you're like, this is supposed to be easy. I can do this. They made it look easy, but why am I having so many problems?
Yes, I can totally relate. And then what I found too is like I can get one thing. Okay, I'm going to start with my email thing. But wait, how do I put that on my website? And then you like quickly get into it and like I'm going to do this as simple and as bootstrappy as I can. I saw the ad. Everyone's using Mailchimp or
Yes.
online meeting. And you get into it. And that's why I loved your blog post too, is that not everything plays together.
Totally. And
So,
they're
yeah.
not building them to play together, right? Like it's a very sandbox. Like one person makes a product and sells it, and then they have to kind of like add in all the support afterwards to have everything kind of snap together. And you need it all or parts of it to do what you need to do. But when you phone someone for support, they'll be like, oh, well, you're going to have to call those other guys. Like,
Or
even
upgrade.
yes, exactly. Like there's something else. Like it's definitely not us. It's you, right? Every
Mm,
single time you need help, like it's going to be hard to have someone own the issue because it's easier to like if you say like, "Oh, and I'm using like WordPress to try and get this going." They're like, "Oh, well the problem's with your WordPress plugin and we don't support that. So you'll have to troubleshoot that." And WordPress is open source and you're troubleshooting it probably on your own unless you paid for it. And if you paid for the plugin, and if you paid for the plugin, you know, you're tracking down that support to get help with it. It's so multi-layered. It's an onion, a tech onion.
Yes, it's a stinky onion.
Yes,
So
it
if you
is.
have ever, been in this, like, oh my God, now the next thing. I was just talking to another client today, and she's like, if I have to pay or figure out another piece of software, I'm going to go nuts, because it is like they've designed it this way. So
Absolutely.
what is there any hope? Like, what is it that we need to do to start, kind of bringing systems together, or at least just like having less headaches
I
around?
think I think
Yeah.
there's definitely like two parts to it. It's like, do I need this or do I not need this? And how am I going to sort it all out and own it, right? So
Mm,
I'm a really big proponent of like kind of like staying in your lane. Like if you know what you're good at, please spend
mm,
all your time working on what you know and you're good at and you can grow. And if you can admit that like the tech stuff is probably not for you and you're not like waking up in the morning like, yes, I love this tech problem. Like me, when I'm solving a tech problem, I'm high-fiving myself. I'm like, yes, I've got it. I know the solution. I'm resolving this. I'm on top of the world. That's the feeling I get when I'm solving problems. If you're like bashing your head against the wall, you're not getting any wins. Like that's not a place to be spending your time, right?
mm.
And I really think the only solution is there's so many different products. You have to figure out what products you actually need, and then you have to basically hand it off to someone to own it in your corner. Like no company is going to be like I said, if you have a problem with one thing, they're going to blame the other product that you're trying to
Mm.
integrate or work together. So the only hope really is having either your attention focused and you loving it to sort it all out, or have someone else own all of your tech problems for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's why, I love what you do, because me as like a mission life coach, right? Like I want to
Yes.
help, I want to talk to people about their dreams, and I want to write books. And when I wake up in the morning and I was like, I have to piece together this flipping email, and I haven't heard back from this help desk and this and that. It's like, it makes it hard to get out of bed,
Yeah.
right? And that's not why we started online businesses in a lot of cases. And so I love what you're saying, like really get clear on what it is you need. So do you have any, like, just folks that are, established online businesses, like what are the things that we do need, in your opinion?
I definitely think that you need to, okay, so we're so fortunate that like we don't pay, most of us don't have like an office space that we're paying for, and we're not paying for like all these like things that
Mm,
like a traditional like brick and mortar business is putting out there. So like I think that like really bringing your A game with your actual technology is key. So like I recently bought a new phone, which was like a huge debate for me because I probably knew too much. So it was a lot harder than just walking into the store and buying a phone. And I decided I'm going to get the iPhone 8. It's the newest phone. Most of my clients use iPhone, so I'm sticking with it for now until maybe more people are interested in Android. And I looked
mm,
at the 7 and thought about it, and I said, no, you know what? This is what I do. I am helping people with technology. I need to have the best. And it's the same with actually people who don't help people with technology. Like we're running our business from our phone. You should have the best phone. Like if you're still using the computer that you used in college and you're done college, you need a new computer. Like it's very easy to put a pin in when you bought that computer, and you probably bought it 4 years ago. It's dog years. Like you
mm-hmm.
can't even blame the poor computer, right? Like it was very good then, and technology is moving so fast. And if you're cursing your computer every day, you need to really put a pin in that and say like, this is causing me a lot of frustration. What can I do to fix it? And if a new computer, literally the tool, the asset that you use for your whole business, you need to
Mm.
really take a look at that.
Yes, you guys, I want to like just like pound down on that, because first of all, like Jennifer's saying, like if you're not paying for office space or heat in your business or like material in your storefront, like you are running a
Mhm.
very like savvy business because you have a low overhead. And so don't get into this like, I do things cheap, I'm bootstrapping, it's so simple for me to just, use what I have. Like if you're going to run a business, invest like you're running a
Mhm.
business. And the other point, I was talking to the same person about like tech this morning, and like if I added up how many times I had to like ignore the, update your Mac, your storage is almost full.
Oh my
Like
God.
that is like probably a couple of hours of my week, just like waiting, annoyed. So I'm hearing you.
And you have to make a list, right? So like when those things, and that was one of my points, is like when you start having like anytime you like roll your eyes at your computer or
Mm-hmm.
something, like don't just ignore it because it's going to come back. It's never going to go away. And you need to like make a list of the things that are actually causing you troubles and bring it. Like they need to get fixed. Like like you said, it's wasting you time, it's wasting you money, it's things that you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be wasting your precious resources on. You need to get them
Mm.
solved. And it's like servicing a car, right? Like you're going to, I don't know, like you can drive a car until it breaks down, but then who knows when it's going to break down, right? Like you got to take care of this stuff because it really is, it's your business.
Yeah, and if it breaks down, like, oh my gosh, I hope you have an emergency plan or something.
Yeah, that's
I
when you
love it.
realize all your pictures of cats and babies were on that computer and they're super important and you're never going to be able to get it
Yes.
back. Like your data, a computer just costs money, right? Like that's a very good point. Like your data is priceless. And I know for a fact that Apple wants nothing to do with helping you with your data. I just had a client go
Mm-hmm.
to the Apple store because he needed a battery replaced on the iPhone 6 and they wouldn't even do the backup for him. He had to bring the phone back to me to get the backup going because they don't want to touch anything to do with your data
Mm-hmm.
because they're not caring about you. Like they're not caring about you holistically and everything that you care about. They care about the physical hardware. Apple sells hardware. They don't care about data, right? So it's nothing that they would ever come out and say, but the data
Yep.
is more important ever than a computer. Your data is priceless.
It's so true. And that reminds me, we're talking a lot to entrepreneurs and folks that have an online business. And of course, your content is super valuable. Even if it's on the cloud or whatever, we don't actually pay a lot of attention to like securing or backing up that stuff.
No.
Um, but I know you told me about another client who lost photos of
Yeah.
their baby. And it's like, they're never going to be 9 months old again. And you didn't
No.
back up that data. You don't have those images. And we're living in an era that you need to be conscious and not just let the man in the clouds take ownership of
Yes.
things that
So
are so
and
priceless.
that's the thing, right? Like you don't have to know how it works. You don't have to be a programmer, but you have to have an idea that like, yes, like I'll ask people like, is your phone backing up? And they'll go, I don't know. I really don't know where those pictures go or if they are backing up. Or I think when I bought my last phone, some pictures ended up automatically on it, but other ones didn't. And it's kind of like if it's not your forte, like to know how that's working, maybe you need someone to help you handle it, right? Like if you can't
Mm-hmm.
tell me honestly where your pictures are of your baby, then when they say like when the house is burning down, you're going to grab the family photo album and run out the door, right? Like it's the most valuable thing you've got. And if you're not actually sure where that stuff is, it's a really good thing to take a look at it before
Yeah.
something happens, right? Like you don't want to be doom and gloom, but like it would be nice to know, get printing those pictures, like turn it into a positive, right? Like do something with them because now you know where they are.
Yeah, I love this. So let's go back because you're giving us really great action steps. And the first thing is to, make a list. So start noticing those things that you roll your eyes at or that you keep
Mhm.
ignoring and you're clicking off of. And then also like start to understand and probably add to your list like this inventory you need to take of like, okay, where is my content? Do I know if it's safe or secure and
Mhm.
like backing up, like you said? Awesome. Okay. I feel like we kind of went on a tangent. Did you have more things you
Totally.
wanted?
It's hard
Okay.
not to go on a tangent with this.
Yeah, there's so much. But did you have more things that we could be doing now that we've kind of got like a list and we're a little more aware that this is
And you have
priceless?
to just do something with it, right? So like
Mm,
I think that like when you're rolling your eyes at your computer and you don't know necessarily where to go, like I think the best solution really is to get someone in your corner to help you
yeah.
work through your problems and solve them. Like you can start Googling and fixing it yourself, but like I said, if that's not something you absolutely love, don't bother. Just spend the
Yeah.
time doing what you do best and hand it to someone else.
Yeah. As soon as you say start Googling things, I'm like, nope,
Oh,
I don't do that. Like you said, like
yeah.
stay in your zone of genius. Like this is really, the entrepreneur mindset too, is like do what you love and let
Yes.
other people do what they love.
And Googling
So,
is hard too, right? Because I feel like when
mm,
you're Googling, you're scraping the surface. So you're getting like an inch deep on like so many things. And like you might actually need to go a heck of a lot deeper. But then it's hard to find that information. Like that information is not always readily available. Like there's a lot of how-tos on like how to, back something up, install WordPress. But then when you start having problems, there's not a lot of help deeper than that. It's like kind of like the
mhm.
basic thing to get you up and running, and you can read a million websites about the exact same thing, and it's just not a good use of your time.
Yeah. And I'm all about the real person, being a real person and getting
Yes.
real support. So this is great. Something else we've talked about before, and I think is really important for this group to hear, is that although you don't need to have like the most savvy website or this like beautifully automated
Mhm.
Facebook ad to like start your business, there is a lot to be said about some sort of like professional online presence.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what are sort of the like mistakes or the telltale signs that someone is just like totally, not
I
taking their
totally
tech
know. I totally
seriously?
know the biggest one, and it's like, and we've all done it, and we've all kind of gotten comfortable with it. Is it's using a Gmail address. Like
Mm-hmm.
you'll have a domain that someone created a beautiful website for you, or you created it yourself somehow. So you've got a website up and running, you bought the domain, you invested in that, but you're continuing to use Gmail. And personally, like I use Gmail a lot and I don't really like it. Like when I start like replying to people and I'm like looking through stuff, I find that I'm wasting a lot of time like in a browser trying to deal with like a lot of data. And
Mm.
I think the reason that this gets overlooked is someone else makes your website for you, and then they hand it to you like they're done, like project finished, here's your website, you exchange the money and then they move on. But then you don't exactly understand what was happening under the hood in that website creation, and your domain is tied to that. So it's a little technical. Like everyone's situation is different, like if they set up their website in Squarespace or Wix or WordPress or like where it's hosted. So it kind of needs like eyes on it to figure out like where that domain is and how we can get email running. But it's so powerful once you can get like email running on your computer, like a big office, right? Like take the big office
Mm.
approach, like get out of the browser, like install your email on your computer, get it going on your phone, get out of a browser and have like that, because it's one of your main places you'll be working from, right? So the more, I guess, established, like you can actually like get your feet down in your email, I think that that's a huge win for people and something a lot of people neglect.
Yeah. So you're saying don't be like Hanna@gmail.com,
That's
be
right.
Hanna at Dream Life is Real Life or
That's
whatever
right. You
you're.
own it. You invested in it already, right? Like most people are like, I need a domain, I need a website, and then they create the website, but then they've just been using that email for so long, the old one, the
Yeah.
Gmail, they continue with it. And to me, like I can see it, like, when you're talking to someone and they have a Gmail, I'm always curious, like, why are you using your Gmail still? And people don't have a good answer, like, oh, I've always used my Gmail. And I
Yeah.
think that that's because they're not 100% sure how to use their domain that they invested in.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I love what you're speaking to, both sides of the coin, and that you're going to look more professional if
Yeah,
you figured out, like, I'm at
that's
dreamlifeisreallife.com,
right.
not at Gmail. Like, I don't work for Gmail. And then also, there's this differentiation on your own computer. Entrepreneurs, like, when you log in, you're opening up your email, like you said, like
Yeah,
you're owning it like a real business. Like, this is my real work email. And it's separate from when my girlfriends email me about the weekend at gmail.com.
that's right.
Okay, love it. So, what do we need to do that? And you said it might be different for everyone. Is
It's
that
totally where your website ended up. So everyone's
okay?
using different things, and there's lots of
Yeah.
solutions to it. And there's some that are like, of varying prices, whatever. Like right now, one of my favorite ones is actually the Microsoft one. Like you can buy like the whole entire Microsoft Office package, which is kind of the gold standard for like working in documents, right? So you can be
Mm-hmm.
using Office in like you might have in a corporate setting, and like there's a reason that's number one. There's a reason there people are not doing things differently. When people are tell me like their organization is using like Gmail hosted stuff, it's a cheaper solution. It doesn't cost as much as like dedicated servers and IT people to run that, right? So it's if you can have those kind of high end systems to support you, there's a reason they're the best.
Mm-hmm. I love it. All right, action step today. Find out, maybe even Jennifer would be willing to, talk with some of you. She is a
Yes.
real person about how you just make that simple step. And it's going to not only establish you to the people you're talking to, the people you're emailing, but also help with that, like, I'm owning my stuff kind of mindset is
Absolutely.
just making that email shift. I love it. All right. You are unloading so many like wisdom bombs and even just like, the whole concept. And we've talked about this before in like thinking that you can do it all and be a solopreneur and dabble in code. Like, oh my God, the week I thought I was going to code was like the worst week of my life. Right. So like we think we can do all these things and it is such a relief to give someone else their
And
passion.
some of those people, like some of those people that are really good at coding, like they're not necessarily very good at communicating like what they're doing with other people. And that's one of my favorite things to do is to be able to like take whatever tech speak is happening
Mm,
and be able to speak to a client about it and be like, this is what you need to know. This is what is relevant to you, and the rest of the information, maybe you don't need it, but like you have a very good person who's helping you. But to be able to kind of be the intermediary behind or between like those tech experts, like I'm not a web page designer. I can make a web page. I make web pages because I think that's another thing. I think that that's a place where like a lot of people go overkill on their tech. They need a web page and they need like a $5,000 web page, and it's like
mm,
very, very over involved. Like there's other places you can be putting your time and energy.
yep.
It's important to have a web page, but maybe not to that level. And then, like I said,
Right.
like the web page designer knows everything about that, but they kind of hand it off to you, and you might have a disconnect. They might not even be very good at communicating what you need to know or when you ask questions. So it's also, like having that help desk, that corporate tech support approach to it is supporting people better than them trying to
Mm-hmm.
fish the answers out of technical people.
Yes. Oh, you're such a breath of fresh air. When I did work with tech people, right, in corporate, I always felt so silly. And I never wanted to ask
Yeah.
questions, and I never really knew what was going on because they talked to me in this language I did not understand. And so it has been really valuable and also helped me like feel more confident in my
Mhm.
business to just know a little bit or just know enough of like, oh, Jennifer said I need to do this email thing. I
Yes.
can do that. Awesome. Oh, it looks like, let's see, people are saying hello, hello. Great. Well, I am like feeling super action oriented. Is there anything else you wanted to make sure to share or, entrepreneurs need to hear about tech
Yes,
and your,
absolutely.
yeah.
So, like, I didn't do it myself this week and I was having problems, but like, I hate it when people tell me, and I know that we all have heard it, but you need to restart your computer, right? Like if there's one thing where like
Mm,
you're like pulling your hair out, and like I restarted it before we did this. Like we were having a little bit of trouble, getting everything dialed in. Like you said, like I'm using a different webcam, a different microphone, Bluetooth speakers, right? So it's like you're trying to select
mm,
all these inputs in your computer, and the computer, like for some reason you didn't have audio. Like so, I restarted, and I think that like think about it like when you wash your sheets and you get into your bed at night and you're just like, this is taking it to another level. I love sleeping in my bed right now. And maybe you didn't think that the night before. Maybe you're just like, I'm going to bed now,
yeah.
right? But like restart your computer and also kind of change your thoughts about that. Like if you ever say like I hate my computer, like to quote Hannah, blast it. Like never say that again.
Mm,
Like when people
mm.
tell me they hate their computer, I'm like, do you hate your life? Like all we're doing, like if you brought a toddler into your office and said, what does this person do for work? What are they doing? The toddler would be like, well, they use a computer. They're on a computer.
Mm,
They're computer people, right? So like whenever someone tells me they hate their computer, I'm like, oh my goodness, like we need to reframe this because this is what you're spending so much time doing. So
yeah.
like computers are your tool, your vehicle to the world and getting your priceless message
Mm,
out to them, right? So I think that like if you're feeling that way, like as soon as you can start making a shift towards not necessarily loving computers, but like recognizing like that it's a very valuable thing to your business and how much it can help you, then I think that you're going to start loving them a little more slowly,
I
liking them.
love that. Yeah, I really love what you're saying there. And, if we speak negatively, there are like scientific studies that plants and water. Like, of course, a computer is not going to cooperate with you if you're mean to
That's right.
it. Like, I totally believe in the power of those vibes.
Like the 11th hour, right? Like I'm pretty sure my computer ate my essay in like second year college that I had to get onto like a USB and take to school to print because I didn't have a printer and all this stuff, right? Like crazy levels of like, back in the day. So I remember that being like, the computer can sense my fear right now about this, that it's so mission critical for it to happen, right? So, but I definitely like anytime someone says I hate computers, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we really need to think about that because I think that maybe we could respect them, appreciate them, something different, right? But hate's a strong word.
Like you said, they are such a huge tool, and we need to love them and restart them and let them rest. I remember I had a ton of computer issues in college, and my like roommate's friend or someone was like better and nicer to computers than I was. And he asked me like, when's the last time you turned this off? And I literally don't know if I ever had. And he was like, well, when's the last time you slept or took a nap? And I was like, and he was the first one to instill that in me, that like they are like beings.
You're going so hard. And same with like, and that's another thing too, right? Like we're talking about like staying current, right? Like our Wi-Fi devices that are like giving us internet, like a lot of the times people bought them like 6 years ago, they had a phone and a computer maybe. And now like households have like, we've counted them like 15, 20 Wi-Fi connected devices. Like I said earlier, it's almost dog years. Like not to be doom and gloom about being out of date, but like when you start saying like, gee, this is slow, that's when you update. Things aren't out of date when they roll off the lot. They're out of date when you start recognizing that maybe there's a problem and that's worth investigating. And it's a different place for everybody. Some people are totally fine using a computer for 10 years and they never feel it. So other people, they're getting a new computer every, 2 years, 1 year.
Yeah. Or you guys try someone else's computer. Like, because I'm like, oh, my computer's fine. And then I use my partner's and I'm like, oh my God, this is like lightning speed.
Beautiful computer.
Sometimes you just get used to it. Yeah. Like you just get used to, ignore, wait for a minute. Okay. And then it's, level up, people, level up. And your technology, if you are listening to this and you have an online business, is your vehicle to reach your clients, to create the programs you want to communicate, to establish your, like literally technology is how all of us are not only running our lives, but also our businesses and our income and our impact depends on this. Whether we like it or not, and we want to be in love with our computer or not, we need to respect it. I love it. So we've got a few eyeballs on here now. If you guys have any specific questions, otherwise the replay team, please, you are hearing how wise Jennifer is. And you know, she's very responsive and a real person. So I know she will be happy to answer some questions if you drop them in the comments. But is Facebook the best place for folks to get in touch with you? Or
Facebook is great.
Okay.
Just send me a friend request and a message and we can chat.
Yes, and you guys, it's like I said, such a breath of fresh air to talk tech in like a supportive and fun way.
Yes, computers could maybe even actually be fun. I'm having a good time, right? So I just feel like if you change your mindset and like really can identify like when you're mad, what's making you mad, and figure it out, who knows? It could be a really easy solution that you've just been like you said, like ignoring, not paying attention to, had no idea that this was even the problem. And when you identify it and actually give it a little bit of attention, not just getting mad at it, maybe it'll change your life. Yeah.
It's kind of like the doctor. So I'm kind of crazy about health. I can admit that. And so this is just dawning on me when you said like make a list. Like I go to the doctor with a list of like, I have this weird thing. Is this normal? Like I take a list to the doctor that I want to talk about, and I feel like that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's the doctor and be like, oh, that thing. I've done that many times.
Yeah. So I think thinking about your computer and your tech, like your own health, right? And making these lists, and then also seeking out like WebMD. Okay. We all know, don't go there with your doctor questions. Like don't go to Google with your tech questions. Go to an expert, go to someone that can help you identify the root cause. And obviously Jennifer is your girl for that. So would
Thank
you be open if people needed to, submit their list if they come up with them to giving some feedback? Okay,
Totally.
awesome.
It's a very good place to start.
Oh, I love it.
See, like
Elijah,
2010, where were you in
yeah,
2010? Think about it. Like I said, if you
yeah,
had that computer when you were in university or college, it's probably like time to think about it. Like, but if you still feel that your computer is fast, like, yes, maybe try someone else's computer, someone who you think has a newer one.
yeah.
And that's what Hannah is saying. Like, her spouse has got a faster computer and it's noticeable, right? But like, I have a Sony Vaio notebook. It's like a Pentium 3 450. I'm pretty sure that I got it in like 2002 or 2003 and it never died. Like, it's
Oh
a
my gosh.
good computer. Like, physically, like, they don't build them like that anymore. It's not
Right.
broken, but like, I couldn't use it anymore, right? And same with like cell phones. It's a bit slow. It is a bit slow. I haven't fired it up recently. I should, because I know that it worked last time I did. And same with our cell phones. Like, sometimes you'll buy a phone because it broke, right? Like, I need a new phone. Not even anymore, they're waterproof, right? So if you have an iPhone 6S and you drop it in the lake, it's going to die, right? Like, and then you're going to need something else, a waterproof one.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of reasons to like level up and get the better thing, even if it's not broken. And if it isn't broken, the iPhone 6s that are getting fixed with their new battery, put it in the drawer in case you break your other one. You have a loaner, you have a
Yes.
spare, a friend or family can use it. Like, you're not necessarily like upgrading for the sake of upgrading, but because this is our tools, this is what we need to succeed in business, that it's good to stay current.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was just saying his computer
This
is
is a
slow,
bit
and
slow.
I wonder if it's a bit slow or if it's really slow. If you log into someone's, at
Yes.
least 2016 computer.
I know it's
Awesome.
2018, so that computer sounds even older than I thought it was. Holy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it is so true that, they don't make them like they used to. So keep this. Like, I have my MacBook from college too, and sometimes I'll use it just like for the internet. But that's not where I'm storing all of my data and trying to like, do a whole lot on. So I love it. So many
Yes.
good action steps and nuggets for us, and also food for thought. Okay. Like, I'm going to reiterate it for the 80th time that like your tech is like your lifeblood in this day and age, and if you're in
Mhm.
this group, and so you need to be keeping it healthy
Mhm.
and doing those checkups and having some sort of doctor or someone
Yeah,
keep
staying on
you
top of
up.
it.
Yeah, and so not even just like, so because then when the basic health or the basic tech is secure, then we can start building like, and I know Jennifer's great at, optimizing videos, and like you're seeing her
Yes.
speakers and she's got all these things going just on this live interview. That's just a whole nother level that we can all learn from. So I have a feeling you might be back as, we go to the next level in our businesses and really invest in our tech and our integration
And that's
of
the thing, right? Like you said about
tools.
like the camera and stuff. Like I love this, right? Like I love staying current. I love doing the research. I love comparing. I love going to the store and looking at everything. I love talking to other tech people about what they have going on. And then I love going home and setting it up. And you might hate all of that and you just want to look good on camera. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
solution for that, but you're gonna have to wade through a lot of stuff or talk to someone who knows, right? Like, it's just
Yeah.
you pick how much pain you want to put yourself through.
So true. I love shortcuts myself,
Yeah,
especially when it's like comparing and talking text.
not
Personally,
everyone
right?
loves
So yeah.
that.
Awesome, Jennifer. Like I said, she will be in this group responding to questions. And thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. And I hope I'm unfrozen. Here I am,
Yes.
clearly not the tech queen, but definitely reach out to Jennifer after this. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Thanks again
Yes.
for
Thank
making some
you.
time on this Friday.
Thanks, Hannah. Talk to you
All right.
soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna wrap up here. Takes a couple seconds.